Hi, this is Terry Lynn. Many know me as Nikki in the Human Consciousness Supports company. And today I'm interviewing a doctor and someone who's hopefully becoming a friend of ours for the Holistic Health Series. I'd like to introduce him and then we'll get into a nice conversation about what he does that's different. And as an introductory little paragraph about him, he is a very holistic chiropractor in private practice for 36 years out of Southern California. You've heard of paradigm shifts. Well, he is a story of pendulum shifts, and he'll talk about that more. He went from being accepted to college with a goal of becoming a pharmacist to shifting 180 degrees to a natural philosophy, including being anti pharmaceuticals. So he went from junk food addict to natural food diet, from old school chiropractic and medical models to gentle vibrational healing modalities, and from worldly materialistic ego to a more thankful, humble, Christ-like service to fellow humanity. Sounds like he's one of us. Today, he will cover how he learned some amazing techniques that truly made a difference for me personally, to the point of happy tears in only 1.5 sessions. So grab a notebook and pen to take notes, and maybe listen to this podcast more than once to really absorb the ideas that are presented, because he intends to fire hose you with tons of information, as much as we're going to pack it in about an hour, answers and usable techniques to benefit tremendously from. He's going to be covering tangible topics such as PTSD, toxicities, emotions, spirit, and forgiveness, as long as we can get to all that. His methods and concepts for, quote, finding the cause, which is the title of his book, are really unique and needed. He'll give you nuggets to help you finish putting your health puzzle together. And he hopes to help you get out of overwhelm and back into actual healing mode very efficiently. So welcome, Dr. Derek King. You and I met physically in person in Scottsdale, Arizona, when you were with your family. And I was sent there to check it out by our CEO and owner, Matthew Hayes. And he said, check this guy out. I think he's got something special and important, which I did. And I was quickly amazed. And we can get into the specifics if you'd like to a little bit more with our audience about what I experienced. I don't mind. But I just want to let everyone know on the outset, I've met you personally. You have worked on me a couple times now. And I had enough of a good experience with you to definitely say, hey, we got to get you on the show and talk about some of this stuff. So you can finish your introduction if you'd like and get right into what you're going to talk about. I'm going to just let you have the floor until you let me get in a little bit here and there.
Sure, sure. Good morning. I've been looking forward to this for a month now. We hit it off. We connected, and Matt is going to be jealous because he's not on the table, huh? I am a specialist in bioenergetic synchronization technique. Wow, what a term. Bioenergetic synchronization technique, B.E.S.T. And my mentor, Dr. Morter, Morter, a fantastic man who I get to study with for almost 30 years. He's passed away now, but he taught me some fantastic concepts. He helped wake me up when I was in chiropractic college and gave me some tools, gave me a new philosophy, gave me a new diet, gave me a new attitude on being of service and helping people. And he also helped me realize that a lot of people are afraid of chiropractors. They don't want to be cracked and twisted and popped. That's kind of old school. And it is necessary and it does work sometimes, but not for everybody. So how about we come up with a gentle technique? How about a energy and balancing method for the other 90% who have not experienced it before? And it gets your attention real fast, doesn't it? So we're going to talk about the main problem, I think, in people today is their brain and nervous system is literally in overwhelm. If I write another book, it's going to be called Overwhelmed. We know it, but we don't know what to do about it. And we don't realize it. We just put names and symptoms on it. Brain fog, chronic fatigue syndrome, this syndrome, that syndrome. Medicine is really good at putting labels on things and maybe making a few suggestions, or go see the therapist, or just forget about it, or just think positive. But that's not working for us, is it? There's more people on antidepressants. There's more people on prescription drugs. There's more people who are feeling hopeless and helpless and don't want to go spend all the money, or my insurance doesn't cover it, or so I don't try to advertise. I'm not trying to get patients. I just want you to know, your audience to know, what is possible. We both believe, and one of the first things we connected on is that the body is supposed to heal itself. And it's amazing at that, unless there is interference. What do I mean by interference? That's what we're going to talk about today, is the several categories and types of nervous system interference that can keep you from being as healthy, happy, successful as you want to be. I like the word holistic. I've been doing this for 36 years now, and I've been collecting a huge toolbox. Seek out doctors who keep learning, who keep reading, who keep attending advanced seminars, who keep going on different podcasts and stretching your brain for what's possible. My teacher, Dr. Morter, had a poster in his office that said, "I don't believe in miracles. I depend on them." That's our philosophy. How do we get this amazing brain, an amazing body, an amazing spirit back in synchronization, bioenergetic, life energy, and it's a synchronization process of the body, the soul, and the spirit. That's what we're going to talk about today, is what gets in the way of that. And there's a technique to it. It is very scientific. It is very duplicatable. It works on everybody. And I mean everybody. 8.2 billion people on this planet could use a B.E.S.T treatment, a B.E.S.T balancing. It's not about chasing symptoms around. It's not about diagnosing and putting a label on something. I want people to get the results that they want. I like happy customers. I like when you shared that after one session, you slept better and some of your symptoms were disappearing. And you were eager to come back for a full treatment, and you did what it took. So that's what it's about, I think, is taking personal responsibility. And I know we're going to talk for a while, but I want to make sure the bottom line gets shared right up front. People, you have problems, you have stress, but you need to take personal responsibility that you helped cause it. Everybody's running around looking for doctors, looking for pills, looking for the magic silver bullet to make their problem go away. They want somebody else to fix it, and you help cause it. Finding the cause. Look in the mirror. We each help cause and create our own problems, either voluntarily with bad diet and stupid choices and decisions, or we got exposed to something. So let's start talking about the 4 categories. We call them timing problems, toxicity problems, trauma problems, and thought or thinking problems. So those are the 4 categories that can happen to us. And I've been involved with Masterpiece now for about a year, and I've been selling bottles to my patients, and they've been getting fantastic results. And that is one of the tools for helping to clean out toxicity out of our bodies. Very simple, very easy. I learned about zeolite 30 years ago. They were using it to detox the body. It absorbs ammonia. And did you know that they even use inorganic, cheap kind? They mine it out of the ground and they use it to sop up oil spills. And they use it in kitty litter because it absorbs odors. So your company, I was excited to find out, found a way to have more of an organic, natural form, and then nanosize it so it goes right into the bloodstream and the interstitial fluids and grabs on with that polarity and escorts the toxins out of your body. I know you've had people on talking about cleanses and parasite medicines and air purifiers and all kinds of amazing things. We live in a toxic world, and I do believe that they are poisoning us. So clearing out toxicities is very important, and fasting and intermittent fasting, I think, is another important part to that. I believe the body has an innate intelligence, an inborn wisdom, a God consciousness that we were given that keeps us alive. It's part of our soul, it's part of our spirit. But things can interfere with that. So that's going to be another key word today, is what interferes with that. Stress, traumas, car accidents, divorces, lawsuits. You find out your kid's doing drugs. There's all kinds of them. We've all experienced different things in our past, and now it's stuck in the memory bank. So, physical traumas. I worked on Christopher Key yesterday. I want to give him a little shout out. He's part of the vaccine police. The guy set a world record and used to bench press 605 pounds. But when I got him on my table, he didn't do so well on my muscle tests. So that I want to explain a little bit also. Your audience is very like-minded and very open-minded, so most of them are probably experienced in applied kinesiology, muscle testing. I take it very serious. I know there's some skeptics out there who think it's a dog and pony show, or what's the trick, or you're not pushing as hard, or maybe you're... I take it very seriously. The body is smart. So every new patient, I look them in the eye and I ask them this question. Do you understand what I mean by a kinesiology muscle test? Yeah, I think I do. I've had those. That's what most people say. But we're going to keep it real simple. If your brain and body like something, it will test strong. And I mean really strong. No doubt, A+ lock. If it doesn't like it, if it doesn't understand it, if it's got a problem or a short circuit with it, it will test weak. That's how it was created. It's a binary system, strong or weak, and different shades or different grades of weakness. And that tells us, that's a diagnostic clue. But if you test somebody for something that's poison, for something that's stressful or traumatic, it short circuits the nervous system. And that's one of the things that gets us into overwhelm. So I worked on you and we tested you. And everybody has a weak spot, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
How hard was it to find?
Not too hard. Yeah, definitely. Well, you have a process, so that makes it easy.
It's like putting a puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
People, you have a complex puzzle. Some people are 100 pieces, some people are 2,000 pieces, and it takes time. It took time for you to get where you're at with your pain and symptom and syndrome, so it takes a while to put that puzzle together. What I believe is we shouldn't have to put the same pieces together over and over. When it fits, you don't have to force it. You know it fits, it's the right piece, it sinks into place, it should stay there. The learning lesson is not to mess it up again.
Right.
So we will cover that towards the end also. Another concept that Dr. Morter taught me that I'd like to cover for your audience, we call it normal, natural, and necessary. What's normal? People think normal is just normal. It's not. It means average.
Average. Yeah.
So 120/80 is the average blood pressure. Not for me. 98.6 is the normal body temperature, right? Not for me. And the average person has 3 headaches a week and goes to bed with back pain and wakes up with back pain. That's not normal. I don't want to be normal. Your audience isn't normal. Do some things differently so you aren't normal. Okay? Natural. And I mean natural, God-given, holistic, natural food. What are we really supposed to eat? What are we really supposed to breathe? And how long are we naturally supposed to sleep? We need to get outside and get more natural sunshine without being paranoid of skin cancer. We need to ground and do earthing. Touch the earth. Take off your shoes. Go for a walk on the beach. Walk in the grass. Cop a squat under a tree and read a book. Reconnect with Mother Nature. Natural products, not synthetic stimulatory ones. Necessary. I was taught the body isn't stupid. It's not broken. It's way more intelligent than we are. The thinking gets in the way sometimes, and the doctors get in the way sometimes, and the chemotherapy definitely gets in the way sometimes. So behind me is one of our charts that we go over with our patients. We call it the right side up apple compared to the upside down apple. The upside down apple is pain and disease and medical care. and it is necessary sometimes. I'm a chiropractor. I'm not a medical doctor. If you break your arm and it's sticking out and bleeding, go see them, get patched up. That's what they're good at. If something is so bad that you need surgery and medicine, go see them. That's what they're good at. But don't call it healthcare. I don't agree that that's healthcare. So we are talking, and your show is all about healthcare. The right side up apple. Natural, normal, to fix what's necessary. If you have symptoms, your body's trying to talk to you. Don't cover them up. Don't ignore them. Listen to them. How's that working for you? And then be objectively tested by somebody who can find out what's the cause of the problem, because your body is trying to tell you. If you rubbed up against poison oak or poison ivy and you've got a rash, it's trying to tell you it doesn't like that. If you drink too much alcohol and throw up and wake up with a hangover headache, it's trying to tell you something. And if you wrench and twist your back and it goes into spasm and swelling, it's trying to tell you I need some TLC and some help. Find the right tools for that, and don't just pop a few aspirin or Tylenol or painkillers and cover it up, because when those wear off, it will come back with a vengeance. So we believe everything the body does is necessary for a reason. I mentioned timing problems. You gave me permission to educate. So when I get talking, I love an audience. I hope people find value in this, because I want to give you a lot today. When your body gets in overwhelm, though, it doesn't know what to focus on. We are being bombarded with news and politics and family and kids and traffic and opinions and podcasts and Wi-Fi. We're in overwhelm. So I wish I could demonstrate to you the quick, easy method that we have to reboot the brain from stress mode back into healing mode. But it takes work, it takes effort, and it takes polarity balancing, but it is possible. So keep searching, people. If you want to find me, if you will be willing to do what it takes, I would love to help or pass you along to one of our advanced doctors who can help you. Unfortunately, there aren't enough of us. For the amount of people that need the help, we can only touch one at a time. So that's our goal for today, is to just wake people up that it is possible. And you noticed the results right away and said, wow, can I come back for another session? And we went down the rabbit hole and dug out some of your causes, and your body really liked it. You slept well, because that's when healing takes place. And you said that we needed to clone me. Well, that's what we're going to try to do with this video, is that put the information out there to more people.
Yeah, I want to just mention the overwhelm that you just mentioned, or piggyback off that. That is one of the realizations that I had after I saw you, is because we muscle tested for that, and that's something that you test. There's a process. I'm sure there's wiggle room for change, but there's a process, and you kind of know how it needs to go. And that was one of the initial questions through muscle testing, and I was definitely in overwhelm, and I had forgotten what it felt like to not be in overwhelm. I have probably been in overwhelm all of my adult life, actually. And I felt childlike in a way, like I can only identify with when I was a child. And even then, I was not in a good situation all the time. And so I was, stressed, at least as much as I could be aware of that. But that was huge, a huge factor, a huge weight off of me to feel. I remember telling Matthew, I have zero stress right now. Zero. Like, I was just like, I don't know what to do with myself. And it gave me hope and also a reference point that that's how you're supposed to feel. And maybe that is not even the end result. Like, maybe there's a lot more, a lot better, but that
We have a lot more
alone.
puzzle pieces that need to be put back in place.
Yeah.
But the point is, in a short amount of time, we didn't
Yeah.
mess around. We went right for it.
Yeah.
You were very open and transparent.
Yeah.
You pretty much handed me your problems on a silver platter.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? I don't need to hear about them. So another part of this method
Well, wait a
is
minute. I don't want anyone to think that I was like talking about you asked me to fill out a questionnaire. Okay. So I wasn't offering any of that. It's just whatever you asked me, I answered and I wasn't trying to, push that.
true. But people are concerned that when they find out that we can deal with memories and emotions in our past, that they
Yeah.
need to go to the leather couch or the psychiatrist and talk about their problems and their sex life and their childhood. No, just the opposite. That's your story. Everybody has a story. What is your story?
Mhm.
What helped cause your problems? And what are you paying the price for and suffering? CAT scans don't show it. MRIs don't show it.
Mhm.
Blood tests don't show it. So, how can we find it? We want to test real world right now what makes you stronger and what makes you weaker. You remember the old game when you were a kid? You're getting warmer, up, you're getting warmer, up, getting hot, up, you're getting cold. We're moving back. We're trying to find the target. And your body is begging. It's asking, I want to deal with this. The issue is it got put there under stress. You just said it yourself.
Mhm.
We always will have stress. Everybody has stress. We don't try to get rid of your stress. What we actually did was made your brain deal with its stress.
Mhm.
I pick on people. I get permission from them to actually pick on them to find out where their weak spots are. Everybody has them, and they're fun when you find them and realize, wow, I thought I could pass that test. You can't. You're not going to pass the test. So I don't like to use the word flunked, but if it's pass or fail and it's not an A plus strong easy, you'll know it, I'll know it, your brain will know it, the red flags go up, then we get the right tool. That's what this talk is about, is what's the right tool for you in your problem, in your situation. And one vitamin helps one person, one essential oil helps somebody else. Oh, red light therapy did miracles for me. If that's the right tool, if that's the right puzzle piece, you'll know it. But if it's not, keep searching. I get frustrated when people do the same thing over and over. And that's kind of old school chiropractic, is 3 times a week, the same adjustment. You look around the busy room and a lot of people are getting the same adjustments over and over again. That's not customized treatment. Every one of my treatment sessions is unique. Every person's puzzle and every piece to the puzzle is unique. And I hope that resonates with people. Another thing, we had talked about toxicities, then there's deficiencies. Most people, if you buy your multivitamin at Costco, that's the cheapest, hard pressed tablet with a shellac coating on it that probably doesn't even digest because your stomach acid isn't working right and your microbiome in your gut, it's going right through you. So a lot of people are deficient. So we do need to address that. Remember the old cassette, Dead Doctors Don't Lie? Dr.
Yeah.
Wallach, way back when, sold millions of dollars of product because he was educating people how deficient in minerals they are.
Mhm.
Minerals, the good ones are alkaline. We're way too acid. So that's part of the toxicity problem. And that was one of the things that Dr. Morter taught me. And that's one of the things that Dr. Robert O. Young is getting persecuted for because he knew about pH and how important that was. So we were just at his sentencing, and that's a travesty. That's a whole nother subject. But we were there supporting him. He got 5 years in prison now because he spoke the truth. They're coming after our health freedoms. I'm trying to expose more health freedoms, but you have to take responsibility and do what it takes to seek out the care that you need. Can't diagnose people over the phone, can't really give you a treatment over the phone, but if you know it's possible, do what it takes. It's called responsibility. The word we use when people get into overwhelm is dis-ease. But when you get into disease, you search out, where's my upside down apple right there in the background? That's disease care, lack of ease, problem with the ease. What if you know that there is green right side up apple, true healthcare? Find the cause, help the body to help itself, clear the interference patterns, reboot your brain's computer, and get it back in healing mode. We call that active healing. When you take responsibility and you help participate and you fill out honestly the questionnaire form that gives me some ammo and some choices to prioritize what's important for each person, but don't just cover it up. Too long, too often, people are covering it up, and you know about that, right?
Yeah, very well. If I can just go back a little bit, a couple
Sure.
things in the symptomologies that people have, and how it's so important to understand that there's so much running under the radar that is subconscious. And the work that you do is acknowledging those things that you're not consciously aware of, you're not consciously understanding. And let's say somebody was aware that they were in overwhelm, the stress was just overwhelming. Now, I handle mine very, very well, but uh, let's say, I wanted to look into something that would help me to, quote, relax, or even on a daily basis. I know people that do that. I don't do that. But, if that was something that someone would do, what you're doing is, again, you're medicating the symptom. And here you have an opportunity by looking into some of these techniques
Okay.
that take it away in minutes. And it's not to say that other things later aren't going to come up and going to put you eventually. That's because you just haven't. It's like the onion, the onion. You got
Layers
to
of the
peel it. You got to,
you peel
So
it back layer by layer by
yeah,
layer, and
it took you a
you
long
try.
time. It took you a long time to get there, and this is a long game too. And so we're going to be 5 years older no matter what. And so why not go in a good direction? So instead of saying, well, if I can't get this accomplished now or in a year, no, like you're going to just keep compounding issues if you're not going in the right direction. So eventually you're going to really start to be like, well, or right away, it just depends on the person. But the one thing, and this, I don't want to take you
Okay.
off your train, but you touched on it earlier, and this is something that I'm fascinated with and I don't know enough about. And that is when you were testing me, and maybe you can also talk about what exactly a treatment kind of looks like. So, and
Okay.
I'm going to allude to it right now a little bit.
Okay.
So you were testing muscles. That's what muscle testing is. And you were testing specific muscles, all over, depending on, where you were going. And you were saying this muscle's turned off. And
Okay.
I want you to talk about a little bit of that, because here's what I noticed. Not only did I notice a change right there where you muscle tested me, and you were touching the muscle and you muscle tested me
Before and after test.
before and after, but subjectively, when I went on my way, within the next few weeks, I'm been doing some hiking, and
Hiking.
but I'm also a long time weightlifter, not heavy, but I've been doing it for years. Like, I know what my body can do and not do, and I know where my weak spots have always been. That is one thing that I notice has been different, that I've gone back as far as what I can do about 10 years. And that's a very good thing when you're a little over middle aged and you've got nothing really to look forward to there. So it's a slow decline. And I'm wondering, like, whoa, like how much of that is actually what you just did? But what is it that makes a muscle turn off and makes a person actually not be physically strong because that muscle is off? I find that off. Yeah, I find it fascinating.
Okay. All right. First of all, the simple answer: light bulb and dimmer switch.
Uh-huh.
That's the best example. You turn it all the way up, you got 100 watts of light. If you turn it down by half, there's only half the energy coming out. It's not wrong. It's not broken. If you want it dimmer, turn down the light. If you want it brighter, turn up the light. But if we turn it all the way off, what's wrong with the light bulb? Nothing. Don't go yell at the light bulb. Don't pray to the light bulb. You can't even change the light bulb. If it's not working properly, go find the switch. The switch is in the brain's computer. All the reflex buttons that we used were mostly on your brain. The whole brain is wired to different parts of the body. The actual method is also called Touch for Health Applied Kinesiology. It's been around since the 70s. Dr. Goodhart and Dr. John Thie, I got to train with them. They were brilliant men, and how exactly they discovered which button connects to which muscle and which muscles partners with which organ and which meridian system is incredible. We're not going there today, but yes, it works on everybody. And the two words that I shared with you, two of my favorite words, are balance and efficiency.
Yeah.
Some people are way out of balance. They're strong on one side, weak on the other. Guess what, folks? Muscles move bones.
Mhm.
The muscles move the bones. The bones don't move themselves. The muscles move the bones. What tells the muscles what to do? The nerves. What tells the nerves what to do? The brain. So how about we tell the brain to tell the nerves to tell the muscles to help move the bones? That's a paradigm shift, and that's a pendulum shift. Now, my teacher in the very first B.E.S.T seminar I ever went to was mostly full of doctors, acting doctors, and I was a student. He said, "Aren't you tired of adjusting the same bone over and over on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?" And they all nodded. And he said, "In school, you were taught chiropractors move bones. I'm a very good adjuster. I'm very gentle. I'm very specific. And there's a time and place for that tool. Not trying to get everything to move in one bit. The more pops, the better. No, that's old school. New school is finesse. Finesse, the right tool, the right focus, the right nudge to help it balance itself." So back to the muscles. When a muscle locks, it locks. It's A plus, it has extra left over. We call that rebound. And when it doesn't, it literally, no matter how hard you try, it will not hold strong. Now, us quackopractors, if we wrote a book trying to explain it, we'd get laughed at. So I'm a reader, so I'm going to show you and share some of the books that I've learned and would recommend if you want more details on this, okay? Power versus Force,
Mhm.
written by Dr. Hawkins, MD, PhD, researcher, near death experience, discovered muscle testing, and wrote a whole series of books, but this is the one for the public. Power versus Force. It goes into absolute detail of how it all works and how he used it to calibrate our human consciousness. Later on, we'll talk about thoughts and emotions, but everyone has a different frequency. And if you're too low a frequency, you're in overwhelm, you're not in healing mode, you're in disease mode. What if in 1 minute we could reboot your brain at the conscious level back into healing mode, and then in one more minute, reboot your subconscious brain back into healing mode, and then in one more minute, unload the trash can full of conscious stress that's buzzing around in your brain that is over with. It's possible, folks. Bioenergetic synchronization technique and advanced chiropractic and applied kinesiology. I highly recommend a treatment for you to experience it yourself. But when the muscles are balanced, we make sure we test both sides, both shoulder muscles, both chest muscles, both hip muscles. If they both need turned on, we turn them on with a reflex button and a polarity point. So think of it like reflexology on your brain. And we do a before test and after test and make sure that both sides are working equally, because then it will pull the spine straight. Scoliosis is when the muscles are out of balance and pulling the kid's body in different positions. Then they're texting all day long and sleeping on the couch and not standing up properly and all hunched over. It's epidemic in this country. And once, past puberty and their bones start to harden and that old pattern is stuck in there, it's a lot harder to correct. So sooner the better. But the next word is efficiency, and that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
A muscle test is not a strength test. It's an indicator test. Christopher Key could bench press 605, but when I tested him, he flunked. On the after test, I worked up a sweat. I pushed on him so hard because we filmed his treatment. It's the first time ever that a bioenergetic synchronization technique has been filmed and put on the internet. It's probably going to be on Vaccine Police, his Telegram channel, maybe a Rumble. We'll find out. But I'm very proud of what we accomplished. He said, wow. He was amazed also at the efficiency. It's not how big and strong you are. It's
Right.
not whether you're right or left handed. It's not how many times you go to the gym. It's not positive thinking.
Mhm.
It's not mind over matter. It's not hypnosis. It's not voodoo, woo woo stuff. It's scientific. I teach my patients and send out emails of documentation, but Power versus Force is a pretty incredible book that I would recommend if people want to delve into that and what is possible.
Yeah, I'm on my second run through that book, and after I saw you, and I looked at every video that you have so far, and
Okay.
we've talked a few number of times,
We
and
will put a
so
link to that. I made 65 short 2-minute videos that let you know who I am and what I stand for. If you haven't experienced the method, some of them may not make 100% sense to you, but I try to keep them more in philosophy and nutrition and mind body. So we'll
Yeah,
make that a free to people.
and they're short, so I will definitely. It's a good reminder to put that in there. But
Okay.
my second time through the Power versus Force, I think I just finished it. Both times on Audible. I remember mentioning to you, and it's still the case now that I'm done with the second time. It was like I never read it. I was like, I never, because that was a year ago, I think, the first time. And I've learned so much between then, especially the last month or two with just looking more at what you're doing. And so that is a really, really good book. And it explains quite a bit of detail about the power versus force. And that pretty much is what you just explained.
Power, God-given, strong, effortless energy. Force is mandatory vax jabs and doctor telling you you have to take this prescription and you need a surgery and how dare you challenge my white coat God. No.
Yeah.
God complex. No, that's not about.
Mhm.
All right, let's get back to our 4 categories: timing, toxicities, traumas, car accidents, falls, and concussions.
Okay. So
My
physical.
dream, my
Physical.
dream, my goal is to work on some of the football players that have been multiple concussed. If people have had old concussions, if you've had your bell rung, if you've been knocked out ever in your life, you're in overwhelm. Objective nervous system overwhelm. You're going to hit a ceiling. You can only get so well until you reboot that corrupted file. Remind me of that later on. Corrupted files. We can't delete them. We can't just erase old memories, but we heal them. We reboot them so they're no longer a corrupted file. But let's start moving into thoughts. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are real. And thoughts with emotions turn into feelings. So that's where we're headed today now, is on the feelings and what we can do about those. Feelings are in your gut. They're in your heart. Amazing quote is, the greatest distance in the world is between the head and the heart. About 18 inches. Our head thinks, our heart feels. When those two are lined up, you think and you feel properly, decisions are easy. Yes is yes and no is no. When your thoughts and thinking are doing one thing and your heart and your gut are pulling you in a different way, that's going to cause stress. That's going to cause disease. And guess what? An arm muscle test just happens to be halfway between your head and your heart. So think about your problem or your childhood or your boss or your job. What's the feeling? Frustrated, disappointed, angry, bitter, weak. It literally is a short circuit. And you feel it. And I don't care if you pass or don't pass. It's important that the practitioner be as objective as the patient. We find whatever we find. Whatever puzzle piece needs to be put back together next will show up. My expertise is prioritizing it and trying to get you the best results as quick as possible. And from when people fill out their history form, there's a lot of good information on there. What happened to you? What's it trying to tell you? How's that working for you? And then we objectively do the exam to see if we can match what your body's telling us versus what's happened to you in the past. Now, we all have a history. We all have skeletons in the closet. We're all sinners. We all fall short. Nobody's perfect. So everybody has weak spots. That's my job, is to find your weak spots and present them to you, to hold the mirror up to your face and say, metaphorically, and say, how long has this been hurting you? What caused this? So that's why my brand is Finding the Cause. It's pretty easy. A few questions will help people to find the cause of their problem, whether it's mold in your house, whether it was when your parents were divorced, whether it's when you had to put your dog to sleep. I've heard so many stories over the years, people. I never know what's going to show up, but I get excited when it does show up. And with you, when we found your weak spots and you were in training, you're very strong. You're a very strong woman. But it's not about strength. It's about balance and efficiency. And you challenged me to find some of your weak spots and make you better. We did make you better. and you said, I felt like I didn't have any stress. It comes back, doesn't
No, no, I never said that.
it? You deal with it better. You sleep better.
Hmm.
Then you heal better. Then you feel better. Then you are better. It's nice to get the feedback. I like happy customers. But the upside down apple is how you feel. And a lot of people feel fine and will drop dead of a heart attack. A lot of
Right.
people, the vaccine was good and then they died prematurely and they're pulling gunk out of their arteries and gunk out of their. It's not about how you symptoms feel, it's how you feel. Are you happy and enthusiastic, or are you literally depressed and hopeless and dismal? You need some help. There is help available.
We forget how much energy we put into the stress that we've become accustomed to. And it's not until that gets relieved that you really understand, wow, I was running on 20% because the 80%
30.
that has
Mm-hmm.
accrued through the decades was really taking a toll. And so I handle stress really, really well, even before
Until you
this,
didn't.
even before, well, because I could
Yeah.
I'll talk too long if I answer that correctly,
Okay.
but yeah, so I actually do handle stress really good. But so I'd like what you said. A couple words I just want to highlight: short circuit, I love; corrupted files; positive thinking. You didn't say that. Well, you said it, but I wrote it down.
Okay.
And I just want to just back just for a second because you talked about concussions and that. So the couple of things that we did work on two accidents, head injuries that I had, and so we did go into those physical traumas, and those were going on since I was a kid. And then whatever was turned off since I was about 10 years old. Those both happened around the same time. And I think that's what gave me such great relief was those two things. The positive thinking, I love when you said that because I'm so about that too. It's not just about positive thinking. Oh, just positive think, just think positive. No, that's good. That's like a tiny part of it,
Any
but
part of it.
exactly. So
So, so positive thinking will not fix all your problems.
I know.
Even positive prayer. God, please take away my problems. He didn't cause them, you caused them. So we need to learn to pray properly. Maybe we can cover that at the end. And
Mhm.
just there's no weeds in my garden. There's no weeds. No, your garden is full of weeds. Let's put on the gloves, get down the dirt, and yank them out by the roots.
Yeah.
You yank those weeds out by the roots, and I'll give you the main tool for that. And then you plant the seeds for what you want. I am thankful. I am happy. I am healthier. I am serving. I am loving. I am forgiving. Positive thinking will not fix you, but negative thinking is what caused it.
Hmm.
I'm depressed. I need to go see the doctor. Oh, Google search what my symptoms are. Oh no, I might have a tumor. You're making it worse, folks. All right, so we talked about Robert O. Young and how he's getting persecuted and going to jail for our health freedoms. The next book I want to share with you, you guys remember Kevin Trudeau? He
Yeah.
was the infomercial king. He
Yeah.
was talking about all kinds of things, but one of his things was this book. He sold millions of copies of this book, The Natural Cures That They Don't Want You to Know About. Who's they? The powers that be, the medical profession, big pharma, the ones that control everything, the money, the insurance people, follow the money. And he kind of upset them. He wrote this book and he said, why should you trust me? I'm not a medical doctor. He goes, that's why you should trust me. I haven't been indoctrinated that medicine is the answer for everything. So, one of the topics in his book is where'd my page go? Where'd my page marker go? Kevin Trudeau wrote, if we keep asking the question, what caused that? Then we can conclude that all illness comes from one or a combination of four things. Number one, you have too many toxins in your body. Number two, you have nutritional deficiencies. Number three, you are exposed negatively and affected by electromagnetic chaos, 5G. And number four, you have trapped mental and emotional stress. Timing, toxicities, traumas, and thoughts. Where have we talked about that before?
Yeah.
Now, you need to know that they put him in prison for 10 years. They drug him to court on trumped up charges because his weight loss plan was easy, and it was. My wife said that was the easiest one. She lost 35 pounds and was excited about it. but they fined him $17 million because he said it was easy. They were targeting him. So they took him to court. He fought back. They put him in jail for 10 years for contempt of court. He's out now, and he's a voice for good and speaking the truth. But what you need to know is my teacher, my mentor, Dr. Morter, was his doctor. When he got out of prison, he was the one that got called to clear those traumas, update his brain, to reboot, forgive, and neutralize what they put him through. So now he's back on the teaching schedule, and he's an interesting character, but
Yeah.
he stands for natural cures. People said, well, I read his book and it didn't give me any cures, because it said you have to take personal responsibility, and there's 90 different things you can do to help yourself, and people weren't willing to do that. So that's unfortunate. pH testing is easy. Get a little roll of pH paper, measure your saliva, measure your urine in your own bathroom, and find out where on the health scale you are. Read the pH Miracle book. The answers are there, people, if you are willing to look. And I know that most of your audience is very open-minded and they're detoxing. So we're going to finish the last few pieces to the puzzle today.
Yeah, we definitely have some newcomers too. So definitely we want to
You ready
speak
to
to
go
them
deeper
as
into
well.
the emotions?
The emotions. Yeah, that I'm all about it. I'm all
All
about
right.
it. Yeah.
Here's another book I'd like to recommend,
Mhm.
Deadly Emotions, written by a Christian medical doctor who talks about anger and hostility can lead to hypertension and artery disease. Resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness leads to autoimmune disorders, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and multiple sclerosis. What does anxiety cause? Irritable bowel syndrome, panic attacks, heart palpitations. And right on the front cover, what does repressed anger cause? Tension and migraine headaches, grinding of the teeth at night, chronic back pain, fibromyalgia. Great book. Talks about the power of prayer and positive thinking and seeking more holistic things, but he doesn't have the technique that we have. So again, read the book, but know that there's a method, a scientific method that can actually produce the results quicker. I want to share one of the first books I read in chiropractic school that really woke me up. Vibrational Medicine. Vibrational Medicine by Dr. Gerber, Gerber, MD. 1988. This book was the cutting edge Bible of holistic energy medicine, that in Body Electric by Becker. I read those books, and energy, polarity, frequency, the healing power of the hands, how acupuncture and meridians really work, yin and yang, crystals, the frequencies of crystals, color therapy. Patients come to me all dressed in black. I usually don't say anything the first visit, but if they come the second visit all dressed in black, I test them for it. It's not evil, it's not wrong, it's just not healthy. It's absence of color. Wear bright colors, folks. Wear bright colors. Different colors of the rainbow affect us in different ways. Purple for your brain and for headaches, blue for your voice and throat, green, the most healing color for your heart and lungs, green plants, green vegetables, green outdoors, yellow, solar plexus, sun, warm, courage, and red, root, tribal, passionate, Valentine's Day, sexy red. And white is all the colors, and golden white is the highest frequency of
Mm.
colors. So I encourage people, wear bright colors, feel better, have a better attitude, go out and get some sunshine without covering up with sunglasses and without being paranoid and rubbing toxins
Yeah.
of sunscreen on your skin. I'm happy to have been talking about this stuff for 36 years. When I made my paradigm and pendulum shift and woke up, I changed. I used to have Fruit Loops and bowls of ice cream and drink 2 Pepsis a day. I was a junk food addict. I was headed for major problems. But halfway through chiropractic school, I went, oh crap, I'm going to get all these diseases that I'm studying now. So I changed my diet, folks. I started drinking carrot juice. I started eating seaweed. I went vegetarian for a couple months. I did a liver gallbladder cleanse flush. And I woke up and there wasn't gunk in my eyes. I woke up and realized we're not supposed to drink cow's milk. We aren't a baby cow. Things like that some of you are aware of. I started taking digestive enzymes. I was 24. I didn't need it, but eating chili Tommy burgers and Mountain Dew, my gallbladder was upset. So I started taking good digestive enzymes to help break down the food. You don't need to have Ozempic and Wegovy and Gila Monster poison injected into you. You need to eat better. You need to walk more. You need to breathe. You need to touch the earth. You need a treatment. I hope this resonates with your audience. I do believe it does. And you
Yeah.
experienced it just in a
Well,
short amount.
for sure. Let's just not cast aspersions on ice cream. Okay, that's the line.
Gelato, now gelato.
I'm a big proponent of
And not before
ice
bed.
cream.
I used to have it right before bed, and you wake
Yeah,
up with snot and gunk in your eye.
not me.
Have it earlier and take some digestive enzymes.
Plus, you can make banana. Oh man, when
You
I
can.
was a vegan for 2 years, I just perfected the banana ice cream. But okay, so we have like about 10 more minutes.
Okay,
We're not on a time, end, but you want to keep it at about an hour. So just giving you the
sure.
heads up on that. So anything you kind of want to wrap it up with? What I'm thinking though is,
Let me give you the tools.
well, hold on a second. So
Okay.
let me just throw out an idea. So what I'm thinking is, I really want people to walk away from this discussion understanding what a treatment looks like with you. And I'm going to let everyone know too. I am considering being trained under you in maybe in the fall or winter. And Derek knows that. It's not the first time he's heard it. And so I believe that people that already have a background in health and holistic health, and there's many different varieties, are perfectly primed to something like this. We need to have
Mhm.
practitioners. I'm going to really be pushing this kind of thing. And when you do have a training, that's
That's
very
so. Both my mentors have passed away. I
yeah.
give them full edification. Dr. Thee and Dr. Morter, they they taught me so much. But in the last few years, we've developed it even more, and it is gentle. You can't call yourself a chiropractor, but you could be a practitioner if you know some anatomy and some physiology and your heart's in the right place. I would consider training some more people, yes.
Yeah.
Because
So
more
just
people need this. And if you can be the
everyone
one,
needs this, and I think this
everybody
is
needs
something that we all need to at least learn somewhat of,
this.
so that we can help even our family and friends. And however far I take it, I don't know, but I just wanted to put it out there. You said you're not looking for clients, but I'm pushing you more
Okay.
towards training
The
people like
weirder
myself.
The weirder the case, the
Yeah,
better
of
results I
course.
get.
Uh-huh.
Why is that? Because the sorry, but
More
the weirder the
complicated.
case, the more complicated.
Yeah.
I've been to the Mayo Clinic. Do you want to see my folder?
Yeah.
No. I've tried everything. You haven't tried everything.
Yeah.
You haven't tried everything. How about we go inside and find out what your body wants instead of the all powerful doctors trying to tell it what we think it should need? Okay?
Mhm.
That's not what it's about. Finding your cause, putting your puzzle together, and realizing that you helped cause it, you helped create it, it's talking to you. Learn how to listen to it better. And now I would like to share. So we have 48 pairs of muscles that we test:
Mm.
shoulder muscles, chest muscles, back muscles, hip muscles, butt muscles, hamstring muscles, neck muscles. If you've been in a rear end car accident and you can't hold your head up, it's not going to hold the adjustment.
Right.
So in 15 seconds, it is possible with just hands, no needles, no crystals. We do touch the body, but it's very gentle. So it's not Reiki, but it is energy. They aren't exactly meridians, they're neurovascular receptor points. But just with a light touch and light specific pressure, it resets the circuits. It's like flipping on a breaker switch. You feel your power come back instantly. There's no trick. I've heard them all. You didn't push as hard. What's the trick? You can have a healthy skepticism to begin with. But don't be cynical. Oh, that muscle testing, that doesn't work. That's phony. Find someone who takes it serious. Call up and interview doctors and chiropractors and ask them if they are proficient in applied kinesiology. If they are, they will be proud to tell you that. If they hem-hawing around, that means they don't take it serious. So that would be my advice there. But I would like to share from my heart with your audience as we wrap this up the greatest tool that my mentor ever taught me. Now, I am a Christian. I've read the Bible multiple times. It's full of truth and wisdom. But I didn't learn this from the Bible. And you don't have to have that religion to use this tool. But here it is. Forgive. Forgive. Whatever happened to you, forgive. Folks, you can't change it. But you don't understand my alcoholic father. You're not going to change him. Or he's gone. You can't change what he did. We're not saying ignore the feelings. How did it make you feel? And where is that affecting you? What is that doing to you? You're hanging on to it. But you don't understand what they did to me. I don't want to hear it. I test you. And when you go from positive strong and you think about your childhood or your father or that fear or anger, and you feel your whole body go physically weak, bingo. I'm the only doctor that gets excited when you flunk my test. When I knock on that door and the barn door opens wide, I can drive my tractor and dump truck in and teach you how to unload it. How do you unload it? You learn from it. I forgive him and mean it. You have to mean it. You're not going to get even. They're not going to apologize. You can't undo it. Quit hanging on to it. How's that working for you? It's inflaming you. It's making acid in you. It's creating syndromes in you. And you are the one that's causing it. He's gone. Whatever he did from childhood he's not here right now. When you think about it, you're accessing a corrupted file.
Mm.
We don't have to talk about it. It's a trash can. Dump the trash can. It's called PTSD. I believe everybody has PTSD. I would love to help the vets. I would love to help people who've had some serious traumas. But everybody has some. You flunked that test, so you didn't get into the college that you wanted. Your boyfriend dumped you back in high school for the cheerleader. You ran the red light, got the speeding ticket, that made your insurance rates go up. I don't care what it was. What happened to you that you wish hadn't happened, that got you on the wrong path to disease and the upside down apple? What's the bridge back over? Forgive them. Bible says forgive them. It's a choice. Forgive them. To forgive someone is to set the captive free and then realize the captive was you. You're hanging on to it. It's over. Next step, apologize. It takes two to tango. You think it's him. You think it's the husband. You think it's the lawyer. Apologize. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Can we work this out? Can we have reconciliation? Go to them. Have some courage. What I found, I work on lots of women who have all kinds of dramas and traumas, and I find that they will go tell their 5 best girlfriends what he did. You want to know what he said? You want to know how he treated me? The hairdresser, the nail pedicure person, the lady at church. They love to talk about their problems and stories and husband bash. Guys are jerks sometimes. I apologize. But how about you go actually talk to the person who offended you? What a concept. Write them a letter. Sit down and write, and don't say you. Say, I realize that I've been holding grudges and bitterness, and I want to ask for forgiveness, and I want to forgive you for making me do what I did. Whatever. Handwrite a letter. Don't text. Don't leave a message. Something powerful about a handwritten letter. The next step, forgive yourself. That's the missing piece. I don't think we were taught how to properly forgive ourselves. Forgive yourself when you drank too much and don't do it again. Forgive yourself when you pigged out on that pizza and ice cream. Ugh. Learn from it. That's the next step. Quit making the same mistakes over and over. That's the disease path. That's bad choices. What you eat is your choice. What you drink is your choice. When you go to bed is your choice. If you go for a walk around the block is your choice. If you smoke and breathe pollution, that's your choice. If you talk with your cell phone next to your head and wonder why your ear gets hot and you get cancer from sticking it in your bra and smoking cigarettes and vaping, those are your choice. There's no easy fix. You're the problem. Seek out somebody or a health coach or a mentor or read a good book to help yourself. But our thinking. Last book I want to share, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. Years ago, I had a patient say, "Doc, have you read Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die?" I went, "I want that book." What a great title. We think that if we bury them down, that we'll just ignore them and be in denial. Disease. I will tell you that I believe autoimmune disorders, happy on the outside, crying on the inside. I'm fine. No, you're not fine. Admit that you need help. Admit that you aren't as good as you should be, and seek wise counsel. Seek the right kind of health doctor to help you get well. That's the answer. And then forgive yourself. Body, I'm sorry. Lungs, I'm sorry for all that smoking. Liver, I'm sorry for all that drinking. Gut, I'm sorry for those too many calories and not getting off my butt and walking around the block. You don't need to run marathons. You don't need to go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm not big on massive exercise. We need to be fit. We need to be toned. But exercise doesn't make you healthy. Eating, drinking, and thinking make you healthy. Then you can exercise to get fit once all your muscles are turned on properly. If not, they're going to hurt. If your muscles aren't balanced and efficient like you were discussing, and you go hiking up mountains and you're sore and can barely get out of bed the next day, your acid toxin, you're not getting enough oxygen and hydration to your cells, your muscles are turned off and out of balance, and you might need a chiropractic or a therapy visit. Doesn't that make sense? My 10-year-old granddaughter understands this stuff. Poppy, I need a treatment. Can you help me? Because I talked with my mom and she upset me. So get on the table, and it works on kids too. They have to be able to do and understand a muscle test. But after about age 10, we can treat kids. It's pretty amazing. We put their puzzle together, and one treatment in a child is worth way more than 15 treatments in an adult. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot less trauma. When you're coming at it at 50 years old, then you have a lot to work on, a lot more to work on. And so it is a process,
Bag,
game.
baggage and issues. I
Yeah.
should be called the baggage unloader doctor, the trash can emptying doctor, and the issues dealing with doctor. And I'm proud of those. Somebody needs to do it. 8.5 billion people need a treatment. As prevention, as maintenance, go before you hurt. Don't wait for your body to scream at you. That's wise counsel.
Yeah, you just have to invest in yourself and decide how we can constantly do that better and keep an open mind and keep a humility. And you mentioned about forgiving others and forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself is the hardest part, but have the humility to realize that you don't know it all and you can always keep getting better. And isn't that what we want to do here? I think that's what we're doing here, in this matrix, this plane, this existence that we have. And so physical health,
But this one,
how you feel is hold
life
on,
is a
I just finished that. So physical health, how you feel, that is your vehicle through this life, through this matrix, through this existence here. And it does matter. It does make a difference how you feel and how you are able to perform, because this is your vehicle. That's a gift to you. It's not you. It's your vehicle through this life. And so by putting that as a priority, you're actually putting the rest of yourself, the rest of your bodies, your spirit body, also a priority.
Yeah. I heard that life is a school, but it's the only school where you get the test first and the lessons after. Usually
Yeah.
in school, you get the lessons, then you take the test. No, in
Yeah.
life, you sometimes get the test first and the lessons after.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about body, soul, and spirit, and we'll wrap it back up with muscle testing, okay?
Okay.
Our body, I believe it was created by God. It's an amazing machine. It's a healing, self-organizing, self-regulating mechanism. It's incredible. I'm in awe of the human body. Spirit, capital S spirit, God, consciousness, source, whatever, all knowing, all powerful, everywhere, all the time. Don't mess with spirit. The problem is the soul. Our souls are thinking, our judgment, our feelings, our personalities. The problem is when the soul and the body link up. The Bible calls that our earthly, fleshly sin nature. That's where we screw up. And it affects our soul and our body. That's what muscle test weak. Through the forgiveness steps and learning and taking responsibility, we link up the soul and the spirit, and it doesn't harm the body. So what I do in a treatment, you wanted to know, I test the body to ask the spirit, what's the problem with the soul? And when
Yeah.
you think about it and you feel it and your body short circuits, it means your body, soul, and spirit are not lined up properly.
Hmm. Yeah.
What do? You fix it. You make a decision to forgive and let it go, to tell it you're sorry. Body, I'm sorry for hurting you. Body, I'm sorry for irritating you. Body, I'm sorry for gaining it all and carrying it around. It's not worth it, people. You're in the right place. You're with the right crowd. You're with the right people. There's lots of tools available. So I'd like to end with this. My definition, I'll give you two definitions. My definition of responsibility. Responsibility, the
Hmm.
ability to properly respond. If you think about something and pass the test, you can handle that responsibility. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I go right to the next test. That puzzle piece is already in place.
Hmm.
But if you think about something and your muscles literally cannot hold, no matter how hard you try, it literally cannot handle that responsibility. You wonder why the weight of the world's on your shoulders? Because you're not handling the responsibility. Deal with it. Make the phone call. Write the letter. Say the prayer. Go for a walk. Say, you know what, today's the first day of the rest of my life. I'm ready for something different. Okay? And we began with the old school chiropractic versus the new school model of chiropractic. There's lots of techniques. There's tapping, there's emotional freedom technique, there's essential oils, there's activate, there's lots of different methods. But the energy work, the vibrational frequency work, the memory and emotions and gentle muscle testing is kind of the new school. So at the end of a treatment, I ask people, so I'm a licensed chiropractor, been for 36 years. Did I do any chiropractic on you? And every one of them goes, no, you didn't even like touch my bones. I ask them, do you know what the word chiropractor actually means? I bet you out of all the people watching, nobody actually knows what the word means. You think you know what chiropractors do. You've been twisted and popped and side postured. And again, there's a time and a place for that. I love my profession. I don't mean to knock any other techniques, but encourage your doctor to go to seminars and read books and learn more if they aren't doing that. They spend 3 minutes with you. I spend 30 minutes with you, and we get to the nitty gritty. Chiro, the Greek word for hands. Practor, to make or fix or practice. Chiropractic means to fix with the hands. So my method uses the hands to talk to the brain, to talk to the nerves, to talk to the muscles, to help the bones, which then affect the organs and the energy and the posture and the health of your whole body. That's what I mean by holistic chiropractic care. And if nobody's ever taken the time to explain to you all the benefits of holistic chiropractic care, thank you for letting me do that today.
Excellent. I think if people have a well-rounded view right now, we started off talking about personal responsibility and we kind of wrapped it up with that too. And I can only add one thing, and that's you can't fix anyone else.
True.
That's not possible. You have to work on yourself, and that is going to emanate to others. You're going to be a role model for others. You're going to be more of service when you're in a better position. And so if everyone, let's just say everyone did that, or even 50% of the population really
Mm-hmm.
worked on just themselves, imagine what that would do. That would change the whole world that we live in right now. So the efforts on trying to save other people, very
Don't
minimal
twist
effect.
arms. Do not twist arms. You can't want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves.
Yeah, usually that's a running away from your own issues that you're trying to build your ego up and trying to make yourself look and feel better by, oh, look at all these things I'm doing for somebody else, when you're really terrified of what's inside you. So the personal responsibility piece I really love, and
We
that's
could
going to
talk
get you so
another
much
video.
farther. Yeah, it's going to get you so much farther, and everyone around you as well. So I would just like to add that you did mention to me that you would be willing to travel if there was, let's say, a group in a town or a city that wanted to have you come in and do a few days and do treatments, all those days, maybe even give a seminar. I don't really know, but
That's
we could
my favorite
definitely.
thing to do. Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, so we could definitely. So if I had enough of people that are coming to us for that, I might be able to arrange that. I would be willing to do that. And you are in Southern California, just to remind people where you're
That's
at now. And I know that you are open to having people come to you, but you really want the people to be ready. This is not a, oh, fix me. This is a, I'm ready to
Hmm.
face and do whatever I need to do. And that's the
And
caliber of the client that you're looking for.
and you did it. You drove a distance to meet me at our timeshare when we were on vacation,
Mhm.
and I was so excited to help you and be involved with Masterpiece and educate Matt Hazen on what piece I could bring to the puzzle that I put my portable table in the car, and we drove out and met up and had a great time, and you came back for a second session and said, I want it all. Let's go down the rabbit hole. And it was very interesting. I shared a story with you that a lady called me up by referral, and we talked on the phone for 45 minutes. And she said, I believe you can help me. I'm coming for treatments. What will it take?
Mhm.
And she said, I'm loading up my car and taking off right now. Can you send me your address? And she drove from Michigan,
Yeah.
from upstate Michigan to Southern California. She stayed with us 3 days, had 2 long sessions a day, and left with her miracle.
Mhm.
She did what it took. And she was her own problem. She was her own basket case. But I got through to her. And session after session, we peel back the layers and we retest. Another point is objectivity.
Mhm.
Retest. If your doctor doesn't remeasure and retest and document the changes that are made, how do you know it's lasting? So that's something I'm very proud of this method is we do before test and after test and next visit retest. And if you put the puzzle together, it's coming together. Don't mess it up in between. You do it yourself.
And the before and after testing is what we do at Masterpiece too with our hair testing. We have a
There,
great
there.
program set up right now. Talking about that too. At the beginning, you also mentioned deficiencies. Kevin Trudeau talks about it. I highlight it very much. And you
You have
wanted
a
to
new
mention that.
product. You have a new
Yeah.
uh, sea algae plankton phyto healthy cleanse. I love it. I love the concept of your company. I love being part of it, and let's help more people.
Trying to hit those basic, just can we get it to at least the basics done? And you know what? Those basic things are systemic and they make the most changes. So instead of just picking at symptoms or just picking at these other things, let's just like do, you mentioned it a number of times. Let's just do what the body's designed to do. Like be outside and put your bare feet on the ground, the water, the nutrition, the basic toxicity depoisoning, those things
Mm-hmm.
that will get you so
Chlorophyll.
far.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So we
All
talked
right.
about my paradigm shift and my pendulum shift. If
Mm-hmm.
people have made it this far, over an hour in this video, I would like to share the book that changed my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, later on, I read the Bible and that changed my life for the better also. But The Way of the Peaceful Warrior,
Uh-huh.
Dan Millman. I read this book when I was 24 years old. It's probably the first book I read because I wanted to, not because I had to. I turned off the television. I read that book. It woke me up. It's about a college student meeting a mentor. They made a movie out of it called The Peaceful Warrior with Nick Nolte. Good, but not long enough. The book is amazing. For graduation, give that to your graduate. For college graduation, you want to have an influence on somebody. It's readable, it's understandable. It's not a Christian book, but it makes some Christian principles. And if Jesus could mentor us and teach us the right things to do, the natural things to do, the necessary things to do, it's a good analogy or allegory for it too. So I want to
Yeah,
share that.
and you showed all kinds of books, but you didn't show us your book. Is your book for sale? Finding the
No,
Cause?
it's not now. I think I'm gonna foray into AI, not to think for me, but to rewrite it, have it published,
Okay.
republished it, because I wrote it for my patients, and I sold several copies of it, self-published to my patients years ago, and it's still good. I still believe it's a great book, and it does need to be published. It's just I didn't want to jump through the Amazon
Oh yeah, you don't have to do that.
hoops and
Yeah.
things like that. But now with the technology and the ebooks and availability of things, I think I may go back and do that again because it's called Finding the
Okay.
Cause.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Okay.
only copies I have. It's an old, worn out, rough draft. But look at the cover, folks. Finding the Cause. Is that right side up or backwards to you? But
It's fine. Yeah.
okay, look in the center of the magnifying glass. What's the cause of our problem?
That's good.
Us.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have that realization, using the science of B.E.S.T technology to discover the beginning of your dis-ease process, we have the technology. There's a method to the madness. It's a little weird at first until you have it properly explained, but it's real, it's documentable, everybody could benefit from it. I love being of help and service. I will give out my email.
Yeah, please.
If this resonates with you, I'm rebuilding my website right now. I'm starting affiliation with another holistic healing center. But if this resonates with you and you want to meet me and we want to meet up and you're willing to do what it takes, Freedom Doctor. Freedom Doctor 1 at gmail.com. Freedom Doctor 1 at gmail.com. And
it's
we will
the number one. It's the number one. Yes.
Okay. Freedom Doctor spelled out 1 at gmail.com.
Spelled out 1 or number 1?
Number 1.
So
Freedom Doctor 1 at gmail.com. And we will try to provide a link to the 65 free Healthier in 2 Minutes videos that I've made over the years.
Okay, and I'll put a link to that below as well.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. I'm going to have you hang with me for just a second here, and hopefully we'll have more discussions with Dr. King. I think he's one of us, definitely, and I think he's going to stick around.
Guys, Christopher Key here live with the Christopher Key Show. We're in San Diego, California. We're about to have the sentencing of Dr. Robert Young, and I've got Dr. King here, and we want to show you a little quick experiment, okay? So tell everybody who you are and what you're doing right now.
I'm Dr. Derek King. I'm a holistic chiropractor and pH expert, and I've been studying this along with Dr. Young and Dr. Morter for 36 years now. And we teach people how to measure your own pH at home in your bathroom with a little piece of pH paper that you can buy. But if you take this and you suck on it, you can measure and find out where on the health scale you are. The yellow is very acid, the green is more neutral, and the darker blue is more alkaline, which we should be. However, if I hand one of these little pieces to her, she could do it for herself. Okay, so not quite as good, a little bit more on the acid side. But here's the point that we want to make. If you take this and you hand it to me and teach me how to do it, and I do my pH paper, and then I ask for your opinion on where I am on the scale.
Oh, I think it's maybe this one.
So what does that mean?
Maybe it means that you're at 6.2.
Okay, is that good or bad?
That would be a little less than alkaline.
So what should I do to fix it?
Maybe you should try some food.
True. Guess what? She just practiced medicine without a license, technically. And that's what he is being convicted for teaching people how to do little simple things and make smart choices with their food and with their nutrition. And that is what he is in court today for, which is a travesty. So that's why we are out here supporting him and trying to wake up more people that your health is your choice, and we should each be able to participate in making some suggestions, and then it's up to people to do what they choose to do. And when they're told that they can't, they're taking our liberties and freedoms away. So that's why we're here today.
Real quick, the book, one of the books Dr. Robert Young wrote was what?
pH Miracle.
And that teaches you what?
That we're supposed to be alkaline. We're born alkaline as little babies, and then our stress level and our bad diets and our pollution, and we're being poisoned and jabbed with things, make our body too acid. And all the diseases that most people have, arthritis, osteoporosis, cancer, grows in an acid environment, and you can measure it at home in your bathroom with a simple piece of pH paper if you know what the numbers mean. And if we become alkaline, God made chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is actually the most natural alkaline, but you can do it with pH water, alkaline water I'm not too excited about, and baking soda does help temporarily, not too excited about that. But if we eat green vegetables more often, it puts alkaline bank account back in our body and more oxygen to our cells.